Made a hunt this morning. Came down here on a place where I've killed deer at before. It's on a buddy of mine's place, and I got in here and I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I got up the tree and got settled in, and I hadn't seen anything. For some reason I just didn't like the way everything felt, and I finally, I think it was about 10 minutes after 8, I decided I'm gonna get down and move out, kind of out in front of me where I was facing. So I'm gonna move out that way about 150 yards, and there's a little line of oaks down through there, and I had heard a squirrel bark over that way earlier this morning, and I was thinking then that might have been where I should be, and I got down as quick as I could, eased out over there, and I happened to walk up on the oak tree where I had did show and tell and field quartered my 100th traditional kill, and that's been 2 years ago, and the bones were still laying there under that tree. And when I walked up to it, it just rained like 3 days ago, and that tree was tore up with fresh sign, and there was some acorns on the ground, and I said, shoot, I ain't gonna find nothing no better than this. And I picked the tree out right there with the wind that we had. It wasn't perfect, but it was a little bit off for the way I thought the deer were gonna come from. And I went up the tree, and I think I stepped off on the stand and pulled my bow up, got it hung up, and I sat down on the seat and pulled my phone back out. It was 8:55, and I think it was at 9:02 or either 9:04. I saw 2 deer coming, and they were coming from the opposite direction that I thought they were gonna come from. And it was this one, Spike, and there was another one with him that the rack was bigger. He was maybe a 3-point. But this deer is no doubt, judging by the other deer, I think this is a 2.5-year-old buck. This deer probably outweighed that other deer by 30 or 40 pounds. I mean, this joker's big, and I just couldn't believe it. And I was sitting there looking at them as they were coming up. Anyway, I had just walked through there. I mean, I literally couldn't have been more than 15 minutes before well, maybe 20 minutes earlier, I had walked under the tree there. And I think they might have picked up on that a little bit. They were real alert. They kept looking and listening, kind of looking out back behind me. And anyway, they finally, well, this one, he finally calmed down, and the other one, he calmed down a little bit, but he never did turn it off. He was still pretty alert, and this one ended up getting in a hole at 8 yards, and that you can see is the entrance wound, and that is the exit right there. And can't stand that. I mean, I hit him absolutely perfect, and he probably ran about 35 yards and stopped, and then he kind of staggered on another couple of hops there and was down. And I mean, this is, you don't see him go down any quicker than this. I mean, he was, from the time the arrow hit him until he fell, it couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 7 to 8 seconds if I had to guess. But I'm tickled to death to get him. This makes number 6 for the year. I've had a great year as far as number of shots. I think this makes 15 shots I've had so far this year. And I'm 4 for 4 so far this year with my old Centaur. But that self bow killed me. I think I'm 2 for 11 with the self bow, and kind of embarrassing. But anyway, I'm tickled to get this joker. It's been a long time since I shot one. I hadn't been hunting that much. I've been working on trying to make them bows, and I don't know, it's just the wind, the weather ain't been right, and when I did find a spot, the wind would be wrong for it, and I didn't want to go in there and gom it up. But anyway, got it done. It's December the 14th, and ain't much of season left. I'm really thinking about trying to stick with this thing and go ahead and get to 100 with it. I'd really like to accomplish that goal and not just leave it out there hanging. I'd like to go primitive too, but you got to pick one or the other. And just think, if I'd have been shooting this all year, there's no doubt I would be tagged out by now, just based on my normal shot to kill ratio. I would be tagged out for the year, and that'd be 8 deer closer to 100 than I am right now. But anyway, I'm gonna get this joker broke down, get him in the sack, get him on out of here, and might try to come back in here maybe later on this week or first of next week and hunt that same place right there. I'm tickled to death to get him.